What's up, everybody? Great to see ya. Hello, Lily. I see you when I look down. How you
Hey,
doing?
John. I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Split audience here. I don't like that. Yeah, it's been a wild week. Hey, let's get that news going. I've already got it set up this time. I'm
Let's
ahead
do
of
it.
my game today. All right, let's
somebody took some ginkgo biloba this morning.
actually, I don't know. I think I'm on cup 6 on coffee or something like that.
That'll work too.
All right, let's see right there. And it should be coming up right about new. There you giz. All right. So what we've got here, folks, is some scrolling news going by. This is news from the OTC market over the last 8 days, something like that. No financials, no public offerings. This is news I've read. It's hand-picked news, not because I'm pumping anything. I'm just pulling out news that has catalyst that could get a stock to run. Not saying it will, but already had a few people say, thanks for the news. I found a percentage gainer here or there. So it's not worthless. I guarantee you. So it's been a wild week, actually, for a lukewarm market. Our market has been very sad on the OTC, but penny stocks are having a jolly time. Really, there's a lot going on out there. And if any of you are following my videos here recently, you know what kick I'm on right now. I am on the SPAC warrant kick. Now, there's a lot of people who are just afraid. Once they hear that word warrant, they think, oh, complicated, something I can't do, something extra I have to do. Folks, warrants are just another stock. You have preferred stock, you have common stock, you have warrant stock, you have right stock, you have ADSs. They're all stock that you can get into and get out of anytime you want. So don't let this thing about being a warrant bother you. It just means it can do something more than a common share can, just your common everyday share. It has an extra benefit. But if you're not interested in the benefit, don't worry about it. Just trade them. And that's what we've been doing. I've been playing SPAC warrants. I'm going to let the news go one more time. I've been playing SPAC warrants because there's a lot of SPACs out there right now, well over 100, maybe 200 right now that have been out there for about 18 to 24 months, and they're coming down to the end of their time. They only get 18 to 24 months to cut a deal. And if they don't cut a deal, believe it or not, all the investors get their money back because it's a breach of contract. They promised to have a business revenue making by the end of that period of time. Well, a lot of them don't want to go out of business and give their money back. And most of us investors don't want our money back after 2 years of it being locked up. We want some gains for that money. So what's happening now is you're having deals come together quickly or extensions being voted on to consummate a deal. Well, that's causing these warrants to bounce. And the shares of the stock will not bounce because they have a locked value of $10 until they consummate a deal. Yeah, you can bid them up, you can bid them down, but if they go out of business, you're only getting $10 for that share. So when any news comes out about a merger, a vote, an extended approval, the warrant is the only one that can move. And they do. They move hundreds of percent, thousands of percent. I mean, they just go everywhere. And we are watching those. Now, I've got a watch list of about, 80 or 90 of them. They're not just SPACs with warrants. They're SPACs with warrants with news. They all have had something happen, some catalyst that has a window, a time span. And that's what I like about these SPACs. They're giving you deadlines. They're telling you a date, a literal date that they've got to get things done by. So you know what time frame you're working with. So they aren't day trades. They are swing trades. You've got to be able to ride this out. It's a different skill set trading these stocks, these warrants. They don't have a lot of volume. When they move very fast. So you want to have your positions early. You don't want to try to chase these things when they start running.
No.
All right. We're going to be looking at a little bit of information. Oh, and one thing I do want to bring up. Lily and I were just talking about this. This has been brought up a couple of times. People have been asking me what exchange they could buy warrants on. And I just presume, because I only use Thinkorswim. I don't use any others, so I have no idea. Well, I thought all brokers sold warrants. Not the case from what I'm learning. I've had 3 people tell me they can't even find the warrants on Webull. But Lily, didn't you just have a friend do it just before we came on?
Yeah, we did check. We checked just one that I know off the top of my head, which is HOFV, HOFVW. So, and she could see it, and she had the buy option. So I'm thinking that maybe Webull only offers a certain stocks or certain ones.
Right. That's what they
So
do
it's
with
probably limited.
OTC.
Yeah, they probably
Yeah.
limit what they do offer. I want to say that Fidelity offers it as well, but it's probably limited. So I use Thinkorswim as well.
Yeah.
I think I've used First Trade but First Trade, even with penny stocks, they have to be like on the OTC and stuff. They have to be like over 10 cents before you can even buy them. So every broker may have different rules.
Right. Every broker has their own things, and you normally don't get the details until you have an account with them.
Yeah.
You can do searches like I did ones on OTC. Yeah, they say they sell OTC, but then when you get an account, you find they don't sell anything under a penny. They just sell penny and up. Well, that eliminates a whole lot of OTC stocks.
Yeah,
But you don't know that until you're in there. So that's why these communities are good, because we're all on different brokers. We can share information, pull that together, and then have answers when these questions come up. All right, let's dive into this. We've got a few here already waiting to be looked at. People have asked me on Twitter. They've asked me on YouTube, and we've already got some here in line. Oh, we got more.
Oh, we've got plenty. We've got plenty.
Yeah. So let me jump on into this.
Let's get to it.
All right. First one we're going to look at here is a biotech, NWBO. Now, there has been some talk about this company, and I have kind of been pushing it aside. I just haven't been looking at it. And here in the last couple of days, I've seen the ticker popping up over and over again. Buzz. So I'm following the buzz. This is Northwest Biotherapeutics, currently at 73 cents, had about 2% gains. They got all their green ticks, and they're on the middle tier, which means their financials are audited. So all of this looks really good. What information did I have to share with you about this? Well, the big one, their drug. This news came out on the 17th, so it is a little old, but this is what's got the company running. Today, the company reported that its phase 3 clinical trial, both median survival and long tail of extended survival, were increased in both newly diagnosed and recurrent glioblastoma brain cancer patients treated with this DC Vaxel. The trial has met both primary and secondary endpoints under their trial. And they go on to tell you that this was so big that the trial results were reported by 70 physicians in Canada, the UK, Germany. Lots of people were excited about this. Had well over 400 clinical trials for a drug to help glioblastoma. All of them failed. All 400 failed. This is the first one in 20 and 30 years that has finally done anything to help. And it's helping in a tremendous way. They tell us here that this is how you use it. The drug is also quite simple for the physician and patient. Just an intradermal injection in the upper arm 6 times over the course of a year, then twice a year maintenance after that. For brain cancer, no chemo, no radiation. This is what they're using right here. And they tell us down here it's safe because the drug is made from a fully personalized immune therapy from the patient's own immune cells and antigens from a sample of the patient's own tumor. A multi-year set of doses is produced in a single manufacturing batch, which takes only 8 days. So this is a heck of a lot better than all the other options out there. And they tell us down here that the company is currently working on preparations for applications for regulatory approval, getting the drug out there. They're coming out of phase 3, folks. This is where they're going over the goal line. This is payday area. We don't have any dates. We don't know anything, but this is what's going on. So we have a lot of cancer drugs right now for different types of cancer that are making headway. I don't think the company is making any money right now. I have got another button here. All right, this is one of the filings they had come out. They are increasing their authorized share count from 1.2 billion to 1.7 billion. Now, that's not diluting. That's not going to hurt your shareholder value. That's stuff they have in the bank. They can use that to make deals. They can use that to put on the market if they want to make money, which is what we worry about with these sort of companies. R&D companies that aren't making any money. I don't know if they're making money. They made $1 million last year. So they're making money to pay the bills. That's what we're concerned about. You've got to have money. And now that they're out of the phase trials, they don't have to come up with any bigger money. So there's a very good likelihood that this company could get that approval. It sounds good, right? And they're going to start making revenues. Let's go take a look at that charts. Oh, I'm so used to being alone. I missed you, Lily. I brought you up.
I know. I enjoy doing this with you. Okay, so right here we're looking at the last 20 days. I went ahead and just put a regression line on the last 6 months. We are in a slight uptrend. As you can see, it's respecting that. But let's get closer because you said there was news recently, so I expect to see more activity. And we do right here, back and forth. But it's looking good. I would wait for it to pull back a little bit, just a little. This is a good area for this one because if you look at the overall, John, 6 months, you see where it's at. See that?
Yeah.
It's following it, and it's broke out a few times.
Yeah.
And it usually does give it back, and it could have a lot to do with the trial itself or FDA. Sometimes these things get pushed back, and so it kind of just dissipates for a little while. And now we're starting to build back up, it looks like. So this is when I would keep my eye on.
There at that? What's that high you got?
Oh, if you go back, if you go back a year, it went to 205.
Okay.
So if I put this into the channel, you're going to be in a slight downtrend. So I left that alone. Right. Yeah, I left it alone. That was way quick.
No, I was asking what the high was in your channel there, the one that broke out.
So right here. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. It's nice to know a 52-week high.
Yeah. So about 127 looks like 127. Okay. So and it was very quick.
Come right back to where she started from with a bit of incline, just a bit. But she's got a huge catalyst. So now it's just a matter of waiting for a piece of news because that last piece came out in November.
Yeah, in the last 15 or so days, our low was 69 cents. So we're sitting at 72. So I'd wait for some volume, wait for some strength. But I wouldn't say it's not if you want to leg in, like build a swing or something. And then if it wants to, let go of that 69 cents and start making newer lows, set your stops, protect yourself. You don't have to go all in at once.
Yeah, scale in, buy a small position because that's a pretty decent price at a decent level. If it does fall, well, you haven't bought everything, so you can buy some more at a better price. But if it starts to rise, you may have to make that decision to pay a little bit more than you paid for your first batch if you want all of them.
You can build a nice swing on this one, and if the news keeps coming, then you're going to keep seeing that momentum. And if not, you can have a plan to stop out, you guys.
All right, we got another one here for CEOS. You're going to love the way I do this one.
Let's see it.
I covered CEOS in a video called
nice.
Charting for Dollars the other day. Yeah, this is cheating, isn't it? This is called a rerun. You're seeing the first YouTube real rerun. CEOS caught my attention 5 days ago on the 21st, simply because the chart had a good setup. Right there. As the channel shows, she was stuck in there for all 6 months, had her first break attempt, and it looked to me like her second break attempt was going to go. But I wasn't just using the charts. I use charts first. I find a chart that looks good. Then I go look for the news. Strange way to do your DD, but it's been actually showing some improvement here. We did VVPR yesterday the same way. It's up 17% today. Well, this is where it was then. And just a real quick glance here, CEOS, that's where it's at today. So we caught that one at a perfect time. She took a huge run here. But the question probably is, why did she run? And that's why I brought you over here, because I already did the homework. First off, they had a piece of news back in December 19th, which I call lingering news. This is news they reported a while ago that said something was going to happen at such a point in time. Well, you want to be in before that happens. So a lot of people watch these things. You'll see the stock price fall after a news press. And then a week, 2 weeks before the deadline, it starts to warm up with no news. You don't see anything. So unless you've looked back, you don't know what's coming ahead. And that's what I've been trying to do. And they tell us here that they had signed a letter of intent with Vetcom Corp. This is a veterans education and benefits company, and they are assisting over 20 million United States veterans that qualify for underutilized annual benefits. As a result, billions of dollars in veteran benefits go unclaimed every month. billions of dollars every month. And obviously, they've found some way to capitalize on that. And that was the news that came out. But that isn't what really has this stock running, not in my opinion. It is their revenues, folks. Look at the last 3 quarters for
Oh,
2020.
nice.
Went from
Wow.
0 to 816,000 to 17
That's
million.
huge.
Right. So we don't know what's going on, but you see the flames. Nobody told you it was launching, but by golly, something's going on. There's fire coming out of the butt of this rocket, and it's taking off right now. So that's all I can tell you. I can't tell you what. I can just tell you the lingering news, and they're making a lot of money. And we've still got another quarter here coming out. It should be out any time now. So you want to show us the chart? I've already given you a peek.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually incredible with their revenues, John. So right here, don't want to confuse anybody. This white, you see a white downtrend. That's a yearly, and that's why I did it, because I wanted to see where the breakout was. You can see that right here. This is your current trend, the red one. So right now we're in an uptrend from 1 cent or so, and it hit 6 cents, 0.0638, and now it's currently falling back down. I'm going to take you a little bit closer, 5 days, 5 minutes. So it's coming back into that channel where it's just the recent uptrend. So what's going to happen? This is what I anticipate to happen. It may revisit between this 0.035 and 0.04, somewhere in this area, because of this overall trend, this top line, this resistance we used to have is now going to be a support. So it could come back and fall down in these areas and revisit. It could stay within this current trend. So let's look at the last, the year. See how it looks? And you see the breakout right here. So it would not be uncommon to revisit that area a little bit.
And that's exactly what I showed on my chart, was that huge channel coming down really wide. And then you had this breakout with a whole new channel, very narrow.
Yep. So I think you can have a little bit. I mean, granted, those revenues are amazing. I think because, hype, momentum, we got a big red bar here. I think it's safe to kind of just pause for a minute, take your time, watch this one, and see what levels we start to revisit, where we're going to start bouncing. See if it's going to respect this 0.0382. To be honest, I would like to see it hold above 0.045. I would like to see that. And if it does, I think we might have some strength to it. So there you go.
Fantastic. All right, what we got here? I got another one that was in the line, in the queue. Let's see what we got here. iQuestal. This one came. I can get that away from there. iQuest. This was requested off of YouTube comments. I read them. I answer them, folks. If you ever make comments in there, I swear I read every single one and answer them. I'm not that popular yet, so I can get around to it. No big deal.
You try to help everybody.
iQuest finished today at about 20 cents, fell just a little bit on the best tier. They're on the QX. The difference here, folks, the QX, they're as transparent as you can get. Any information about the company is available to you. This is as good as the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. So the QX is a great place to be. They've got all their green ticks here, and they're penny stock exempt, meaning they've been in business for 3 to 5 years. They've had millions of dollars of assets. They haven't had any screw ups on their filings. They're a good company. They're clean. They're reliable. Now, the company does a lot of things here. They are present in 19 different countries. They work with all sorts of technologies, voice over the internet, Internet of Things, fiber optic connectivity. They've got a bunch of subsidiaries, a list of them here. They've got fintech business, all sorts of fintech business, blockchain platform, and they have electric vehicle business working with electric motorcycles. Now, if I remember correctly, I think they're working with Ally, ALYI, which was a company I was got into quite a few years ago. They were making the first electric motorcycle for Africa. They said they had a factory over in Africa, and I could never validate that. But in either case, they were doing that reproduction of the World War II sidecar motorcycle. You've probably seen it in a lot of movies. Steve McQueen wrote it in one of his movies. That's the one they were going to make for the Bodie, the African Taxi, which is what it was. Well, they've come a long ways from that. But somewhere in all of this deal, iQuest came in to the picture. Not quite sure what they were doing with them, but they've got a lot of technology that they could add to the business. What other information did I find worthy? They're making revenues. The revenues are increasing 13, 18, 44, 64 every single year, even through COVID. They were growing. Quarterly, steady business 17, 19, 23, 21. So they're holding on. They're not doing bad at all. And what other I got here? Oh, some news. All right. This, I tried to highlight that and it moved the words on me. This news is really about them projecting how much money they're going to make this year. Everybody likes that. And it's normally a popper if it's a decent one. Well, they say they're going to be making 105 million. What did we just see? About 64 million that they did. Yeah. They tell us that 2022 was the best year ever for the company. Nevertheless, the overall economic headwinds, in my opinion, we are listening to the CEO, overwhelm the potential for iQuesto's share price. iQuesto is not alone. Several huge companies have suffered the same stock drop. And we say this every week, folks. You ask, what's wrong with this company? Nothing wrong with the company. It's what's wrong with the market. What's wrong with the economy? What's wrong with market sentiment? What's wrong with the world? There's a lot of other factors that come into play. And you got to remember, inflation affects them too. Operating a business has got more expensive. Power costs more. Fuel costs more. Supplies cost more. So they got to spend more money, and we're not giving them more money. It makes it really tight. So that's what's going on here. They've got this news press I'm reading right here came out on the 24th. It's just a couple days old, and it is chocked full with the information that you're going to want for every single sector that they're working in, the headways they're making, lots of information here, numbers. So if you really want to know about the company, little DD just on this page will give you a lot of information. All right, let's take a look at the chart for IQST. Take it away.
And what I'm looking at is the overall past year. I think it's the last 6 months. Yeah, 6 months right here, 4-hour chart, constant downtrend. And you can see, that's validated right here where it kept bumping its head and it couldn't quite hold over that and back to a downtrend. So I'm not really excited about this one just yet. And it could be because that news is not processed just yet. But either way, let's get closer because that's where it really counts. John just said that news came out like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
What's happening within the last 2 days? We had a huge spike because of that news. You see that? But we also came right back down to where we were, just kind of consolidating. So in my opinion, right now, it's just not ready. But I would watch it to see if this trend reverses. Are we going to start uptrending, making newer highs, and newer lows, lower or higher lows?
Higher highs,
higher lows. So start seeing that uptrend and then maybe. But so you got some time on this one too, and to follow the company and do some DD on it.
Fantastic. All right. I think I still have another one here. I believe this one may have come. Yep. We are now on to stocks that were requested from our viewers. You guys can come here early. You can throw in your tickers. Gives me a chance to actually do a little be ahead of the game for you. So we're looking at ticker CNNA. This is Can America. This is a cannabis company. It's funny. I've been into cannabis for over 2 years, and we rarely talk about cannabis companies. And I got to tell you, folks, cannabis will overtake the market one day. I simply say that because there's 1,000 cannabis companies on the OTC. We're not even talking about the major exchange. I'm just looking at the OTC. You want a prime? You want this thing to kick? Let the laws change. Let them say we're going to give banking. Let them say we're going to decriminalize it across the land. They'll never legalize it. They'll decriminalize it. They'll allow us to use it under their laws and their rules. That's okay. Once that happens, you're going to have 1,000 companies on the OTC all surging because they're all cannabis companies, all going to get the sympathy. And you prime 1,000 companies out of 12,000. You get 1,000 companies running in one day, 1 week. That could easily wake the whole OTC market up. I swear to God, that's my Hail Mary. That's what I see, unless you want to wait 5 years. All right. So This company, let's see, where do we start? Pink Limited information. That's our primary concern. That means they're late on one or more of their financial filings. You only get to be late for so long. Then you get a 15-day countdown. They call it a grace period. It'll show up right up under here where it says transfer agent. It won't tell you the date. It'll just be yellow, say grace period. Come on over here to quote. When you see that grace period, scroll down to proprietary quote eligibility. There'll be one more line here, grace period. It will tell you whatever the date was. The last date, I believe, was what was it, January 16th? I think it was. A whole slew of them fell down to the expert market. I post tier changes every day. And there was one day that was just ungodly. It took me 3 pages of all the stocks that had been yanked off the market because they were late on filings. So, first concern is how late are they? Well, here's the periods. There's 5, 8, it's every 3. We're missing November's and they're coming up on one. So really they're only one behind, which isn't bad at all. Not at all. I just seen some company today I posted information on. They were 3 years behind and they posted a slew of them today. And they are Pink Limited. And now all they need is an attorney letter. Whenever you put in an annual report, you must have an attorney letter on the Pinks. So once that's done, it goes to Pink. And that normally really causes a jump on a stock, especially if it's been down for a while. So we've only got one here. I don't see any problem. Attorney letter. So everything looks good here. Financials. Oops, that don't look so good.
Womp womp.
Yeah. And well, oh, come on.
That's not good.
No, cannabis companies are literally doing $100 million a quarter, if not more. Swear to God, folks, most of these cannabis companies that have any skin on them are doing lots of revenue, big revenue. So this is a little shocking to say the least. Quick look here. Total assets, $170,000. We got 3 zeros up here. We got to put behind any number. And total liabilities, $3.3 million. Something's wrong here. Something's not right. I mean, it's bad enough they don't have money coming in, but they owe a lot of money. Their ratio of assets to liabilities is really hard. Share structure. God, do they at least have a low float? No, I'm not sure what it is, but it's going to be a couple hundred million, between 127 and 395. I haven't looked here, but it's going to be an average float. Does the chart look like it has anything to offer? I see we had no change today.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so here we go. This is the last year, and you can see that I've marked the uptrend. We've had a couple of breakouts. And then the last time that happened, you guys, that was December, this past December. But ever since then, just a really hard fall, and it lost the trend line. This is why I hate it. I hate it right here. However, we'll get closer. We'll look at it. You have a current trend that's starting again. But the problem is because it went down to 0.0022. So the problem is right here at this line that's around 0.004 area, you're going to have a lot of trouble here in this area. It's going to be a resistance, a huge resistance, if it even makes it back up into that area. So this is why I do not like it. It does look like it's building up since the 19th. So it does have some build up here. It does have potential. I just don't like where it's headed. Like I would not.
Why? Why would it have any build up? What is it?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of the low bubble, John. I don't know. I don't like it because, I mean, you're not going to have much further to go before you start hitting a lot of resistance. So I would be patient and watch this one. Not really sure about it in this area. I just don't like that. So, I mean, once it starts retesting this, and if it can actually regain it and then hold it, I like it better, but you might be in a higher price. But the way I see it, patience, it's just
personally, I don't see the appeal. I don't know why you would.
I don't either right now.
And that's what I would need to know. What do you see in this company that would make you say, I want to give you my money, and I think you're going to give me more for it?
I don't like the financials.
Cash flow. I don't see any deals on the table. We don't see any revenues. And honestly, there's a lot of flowers budding out there right now. You don't have to look at the seed buried in the ground wondering.
That's
just
a good
my
point.
opinion.
I agree. Right now, where it's at, what we've seen with the financials and stuff, I just don't, unless you know something we don't, Robert, I just don't see the risk versus reward right here. So that's my opinion too.
All right. I can't remember who asked me.
I
Maybe
think
this was
it's
Belmore.
Miss Velmore. Yeah, I'm putting the comment up right now. There you go.
She wanted me to take a look at AMIH, American International Holdings, at about a half a penny right now. Didn't have a bad day, about 15.5% gains. On the middle tier, more trustworthy, more transparent. Verified profile, independent directors. Looks good over here. We don't see a verified transfer agent. Don't overlook that. It's pretty bloody important, but we're going to go by that right now. So they had news come out December 1st. This seems to be the big thing that's going on right now. AMIH majority owned subsidiary ePIC Scripps obtains controlled substance registration from the U.S. Department of Justice and Drug Enforcement, the DEA. Now, I read this. This is a big deal. The DEA does not give licenses to a whole lot of people. I mean, seriously, I think we have 3, maybe 4 cannabis licenses, that because it is federally illegal. The DEA still has it on the Schedule 1 as being a bad drug. It's a devil's weed. So just to study cannabis, to legally study it in a university, you've got to get a license from the DEA. You would think with it being smoked and grown and sold, anybody could study it. Nope, you can't. Now, I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but this company, ePIC Scripps, is an online pharmacy, and they're getting a license for controlled substances. So I would have to do some more digging here. Now, I was trying to figure out exactly which substance it was they wanted. What was it? LSD or DMT or cannabis? I don't know. They did not mention anything here about any substance, so I have no idea. But it is about selling prescription drugs that are allowed online, and they got a list of states here that they're allowed to do it in. And that's a lot of money, folks. That is big business. Lots of people are on medication. And believe it or not, if you can't get it from your doctor, people will try to get it online, and they'll go to Mexico to get it. And you can buy it in Mexico, but are you getting what you think you're getting? You want it in America, where it's at least being controlled, looked at, monitored. So it is big business. Let's see what their financials are. Not a lot of money coming in, about $20,000 at the end of 2021, but that's quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot to talk about. It's gotten worse.
It's gotten worse.
Yeah, they're on the floor right now with no money. And when you don't have any money, you've got to get money to pay the bills. Where are they going to get it from? Well, they could get a loan, a big investor, go to the whales, or they could just put more shares on the market and get the money that way. How many shares do they have? Not a lot. Ooh. I mean, honestly, they're at 005, and they've only got 105 million shares. So they couldn't do a big split. I mean, any split is bad. Nobody likes a bloody reverse split. Some of them work out, most of them don't. And most of them are done out of survival. Just done out of survival. The company needs money to pay the bills. That's just the easiest way to put it. Let's see. Anything else we can learn here? Any other news that you can see there? Majority-owned subsidiary gets their controlled substances, obtains additional 27 U.S. State Board pharmacy licenses. That's pretty big. 27 states. So they're being accepted without any fight. You can see that's not a problem here. All right. That's what's going on with the company.
Strange.
What do we got going on?
I'll show it. I'll show. I don't like it, but I'll show it.
I love your honesty. That's what
I mean, I don't. So the last 20 days just kind of flat and consolidating, but we do have a recent uptrend. I'll give it that. So 0029 is where we were for our low, and then it hit 0087 before a huge sell-off, but we're respecting that uptrend. And right now we're kind of in the middle of it. So I would have patience if this is going to continue. The problem is with the information that John was giving, I don't know why it would continue. Like maybe this was just a bump from news or whatever, and it's just going to dissipate. The reason why I, kind of look at it that way, if you look at the last year, what is this? This is crazy. And I don't know if this could be some kind of split they had that did this, or was it a true run?
I doubt it was a split because it's not one bar.
Well, that's true. That's true. It did happen over a few days.
See,
Yeah,
that's what makes
it built
DD
up from
exciting.
May to June in 2022. I
That's
don't
what
know
makes
why
due
though.
diligence exciting. You see
Yes.
something like that, you just got to know what made it do that. You start
Yeah.
practicing, finding
Well,
that piece of
that's
information.
and that's what I'm going to tell everybody. From May to June of last year, find out what this is. That's important because can it repeat itself? Absolutely. Charts and patterns, they repeat themselves all the time. Find out what this is. And for now, you have time because if you look at the last 180 days, I mean, just flatline, you guys, nothing. And just here recently is it starting to trend up. So maybe Miss Velmore's on to something here. Maybe she knows something we don't. But do your due diligence, find out what that was, and see if it might repeat itself. But as long as it's respecting this uptrend, I think you're okay to take a position if that's something you'd want to do. Protect yourself with stops, though, always, always, and make sure you know what you're trading.
Sorry, I was just celebrating there. One of our viewers noticed that a lot of the stocks I've been talking about this last week
Nice.
are running. Yeah, I got 3 out of 4 that we talked about yesterday. Took
You
off.
did great.
One of them we talked about. I see people are talking here about it. VVPR. That's a company. I can bring that up. VVPR works with electrifying vehicles. That is, they take gas cars and they turn them into electric. Now, they just don't do any old car for any old buddy. They're working with companies and doing their fleets. VVRP. They're working with Toyota Australia. They got a contract with them. They're doing the Rover series. They're doing all the Rovers for them.
Yep.
Oh, come on. What? VVRP, right?
VVPR.
Oh, by golly. Yeah, as always.
Vivo Power International.
Oh, currently at 50 cents, had 17% gains. We looked at it yesterday. The charts looked warm. That's why I found it. And there was lots of news. There was news in October, news in November, news in January about deal after deal after deal that they're doing. Most of it is over in Australia, but it doesn't seem to be slowing them down. And their revenues, they've just been hanging on steady right now. And again, we discovered that a lot of their information is over in Australia. So this company definitely took off, and it looks like they're doing a lot. And they're working with big companies. They're just taking over their entire fleets and doing their business. Another one that wanted to be looked at here was, I do believe somebody asked me about that one that was running today, BZ. I'm going to have to jump over here and check this out. Hold on. I've got it right here. It is BZFD. Somebody wanted me to talk about that one. It was running real hard today. Someone asked me what the ceiling was on this. I think it was at 249 when I looked at it at 3:15 this afternoon. And they're running on news. There was a tweet put out today that they had business with Meta. Meta did a deal with them.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact, the news is right. I got it right there. So Meta pays BuzzFeed millions to generate creator content for Facebook and Instagram. Well, they don't just do this for Meta. They do this for anybody. But it was this piece of news that caught everybody's attention. And she was running today. And like I said, it's AI. Everything is going to AI, and everything's going to be better and smarter and smoother and sneakier. And they're going to have things you don't even know about, because when AI gets involved, they just don't solve one problem that you ask. They try to solve as many problems as they can with one solution. So we're going to see a lot of changes coming in the world. Go ahead and show us that chart.
I'm still trying to chart it just a little bit, John. Wow. Okay.
Well, that's okay.
No, I got it. I'll show you real quick. This one's pretty major because it's so hot right now. It is hot. All right. So
you like hot.
I went back to the last 6 months just to see the low of 64 cents. And I was trying to get you a trend line right here. I'm going to extend that to the right. And I want to change the color. I want to be able to see it. So I'm not going to do the middle. Well, I already did that. Sorry. I'm going to do these two so we can see which ones we're dealing with. And that's important because it's so hot right now. This is hard to read. All right. So nice little tiny uptrend that started since December 29th.
Yeah, she's been on a growth and then a surge.
Yes, we have a huge surge over here. This is why I had to do this. So
I
she's
can't
probably
hear you.
had some chatter. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can anybody hear me? Can you hear
On,
Lily?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
I'm good now. I'm messing around. Hit a
You're
wrong
good?
button.
All
I'm
right.
good.
All right.
Kind of shitty though.
Let me get back to my chart real quick. Okay. So the chatter probably started around then, the end of December. Now let's get a little bit closer. The 5-day, 5-minute. Look at this. I mean, this is huge. 89 cents, and it just started blasting. Now it's trying to break out. That's the thing. It's breaking out of its current trend. Came back in, but I look for more on this one. And look at all the volume we have right here. This is a lot. So patience will pay to get your positioning right on this one, or maybe buying your positions in different, time frames. Don't do it all at once or whatever. Give yourself some room. But the one day, I can only imagine. Oh my goodness, look at this. So it's probably going to come back down to these levels, probably a $1.66 area. It's going to try to revisit because that's where it was trying to break out, and it finally did. So just keep an eye on that. That would be a good area. If it stays in its uptrend, we're probably looking between $1.80 and $2, maybe. But it depends if it continues. So I'd still be patient though. I'm not chasing anything. I'd wait for the right entry on this one, or see if it's over for right now. But that is great news. And this chart right now is kind of hot. So just be careful.
It's running on speculation because everybody knows there's money involved here. If Meta's willing to pay millions, then other companies are going to be willing to pay lots of money. And of course, content online is what it's all about. So we're speculating on how much money is this company going to be getting in. We have no clue. Nobody's
And that's what's so huge about it. It's because Meta did this.
Right.
So now that Meta's done this, it's got a lot of eyeballs on BuzzFeed. And John's right, though. AI is the future. It's going to continue on just like computers did back in the day. It's just going to keep growing. So I would definitely watch this one. Not a bad play.
And speaking of AI, we got another company here dealing with AI. We're going to start seeing more of this. This is MRNJ. This was requested by the Penny Stalker channel. Hey, I've noticed you around. I appreciate you following me. Thanks, pal. MRNJ, Metatron Inc. Ooh, look at that price, 0003. She's on the floor at 100% gains. That's not a big move on the chart, folks. That goes from 00. What would that be? 0015 to 3. So she went just off of the floor, jumped a little bit. Pink Current, verified profile, transfer agent, looks all good there. Normally you don't get these green ticks with these triple zip stocks. As you can see, the news, AI content platform, MetatronAI.com announces new features and services. Revolutionary AI chat service now available at MetatronAI.com. So they're working with some sort of AI intelligence here, AI artificial intelligence, royal-free graphics generator. Looks like they're involved in quite a lot. And we haven't done any deep dive, but they, again, this AI, if you get any products that actually are good, you're going to find people who want them because AI it's the echelon. It is the tip of the iceberg right now. It's where all businesses want to be. Forget the metaverse. We're going to be into AI before metaverse even gets here. I swear to God. Financials for Metatron. Oh, well, their hot product isn't creating any revenues for them yet. No contracts that we can see. This is 2022. Let's see what their balance sheet looks like. Total assets, 1.2 million. Total liabilities, $500,000. So they're not sitting bad in that respect. That's one good thing to see here. Share structure. Oh my God. Wow.
It's a bad.
Yeah, we got 8.6 billion shares as far as I can tell. Now they tell us here it's 859 million, but that's a year and a half ago.
Sounds a little heavy.
Economic peril, I'll bet you something's happened. Let me see if they got a split down here. Nope, haven't had a split since 2017. And 2015 was their biggest, a 1 in 10,000. And that's what you worry about. If a company has a lot of shares and the price is on the floor, they may need to pick that price up
Yeah, there might be
manually.
a reason for that.
So this is a bit scary. I'd be worried about buying a huge hold, saying, "Oh, look at this great price! I can buy a million shares at $300." Well, if they go doing another huge split of 1 in 10,000, you're going to end up with 30
Oh
shares.
yeah, it'd be
You
a
know
mess.
what? Yeah, and they tell you when you do a reverse split, they compensate you by raising the price of the shares. So your 30 shares are still worth the same price. Well, yeah, because my average price just went up from
$33.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
stocks I paid pennies for, and they're $4.57 a share that I paid for them now. Well, you can't make any profit like that. So just because they say it's the same value, you've been screwed. Understand that. You've been screwed.
Absolutely. Yep, you'll never get there. So we're gonna look. You want to look at the chart real quick, John?
Yeah, please.
I have it ready. It is gross. I hate it. So here's the thing. Like it is.
Don't hold back. Let us know what you think.
So the slide up trend. I mean, it keeps going from this 0001, and then it might get to 4 or 5, and it hits 6 right here. You see very quickly. But it's usually holding around this 0003 area back to 1.
What's the date? What's the date on that big jump?
The big jump was 9/12.
Okay.
9/12. Yep. And it was the next morning it came around back down. So the reason why you see this little dotted line here is because I went back for a year. Or no, I'm sorry. I went back even further than that. I went back 3 years. See that? This is going to be a heavy resistance. You see that? How it keeps bouncing right there in this area? And that is pretty much 0004 or 5. So this is why I don't like it. Don't like it here. It's got a lot to prove. It has a lot of shares. I can't imagine it moving much more than it has already. I'll take you back to the 180 day. Yeah, this line is right around 0005.
The reason it ran on that run, they had news come out, and it's funny. The news came out on the 13th, but this is as close as we can get. They did debt restructuring, which is always a good thing, though I haven't dove into it. And that was the day they introduced their AI division.
Gotcha.
They had moved from minting NFTs to AI.
Oh, that's what it was. That's a whole different thing. Okay. So give them some time. They're going to have some trouble. And like you see this dotted line, look where the sales happened. You see this? This is going to be problematic for a little while. And I do not like picket fence charts. This is what this is. I hate it. I just hate it. But keep an eye on it. Do the DD. It may turn out that they're turning things around, and it might be something profitable later on. But no hurry on that one that I can see.
All right, we've got a couple here. I've scrolled all the way down to the bottom so I don't miss you people. See what's down there. I see they're talking about Cosm. Who isn't talking about COSM?
Oh gosh, Cosm, because they announced that buyback, John, and that buyback. Yes,
Twitter.
They're buying back shares. So that they're going to buy back 3 million worth, I think, and they have until January 2024 to do so. So Cosm's kind of on a run right now because of that. They're trying to, I guess, fight against the short sellers and stuff like that. So it's going to be a battle back and forth.
We see lots of companies not only trying to add shareholder value so that, I mean, not just any shareholders, but the shareholders in the company, trying to give them dividends, trying to give them shareholder value, whatever. There's a GTII, CRTD, a GNS. All of these companies have actually taken legal action. They've hired attorneys. They are going after it. They're pursuing it. And it's good for all of us, folks. These bloody naked shorts, these synthetic, invisible, non-existent shares are messing all sorts of things up.
They're hurting the market.
And the worst thing is that somebody's making money on it at our expense.
Big money.
That's not fair. That's just not right.
Big money. But that's what's happened with COSM. I did see a little bit of chatter on that today. So what we got, SYTA?
Yeah, SYTA. I covered them a while back. Let me see if I can remember. I think this is the company that makes the mobile devices that goes into vehicles so that you can talk to each other like a CB or a walkie-talkie.
We have covered them.
Without having to have some company support your service, free push-to-talk stuff. And it connects your internet in there. programs that you might need for your company to track you, warehouse stuff in the back. You know, you can take care of it all in one device and your phone. It's all in there. So they've got these hot devices and they've been starting to sell these. Let's see if they have any new news here. That's old news. Ciata, yeah, I don't think we've looked at it since then. Ciata expands reach of the next generation. What?
I was just saying we hadn't looked at it since then. I have it charted already, so I know we've looked at it.
Right.
And if anybody would have just looked at what we were saying about it then, they'd be in a good spot.
So they've got a new market here that they're moving their products on. And the big thing is they have big companies. I can't remember them right now. I think T-Mobile is one of them.
Okay.
It may be AT&T or another company. And one in BT, the one in Canada. They're pushing their products to their customer base. Well, they've got huge customer bases, gigantic. So this company has inlets to a lot of business. This is one of the things we like about this company. Financials. They're holding steady right now at about 7.5 million at the end of 2021. Why is that so far back? Why can't we get anything current? Yeah. Speaking of current, we're not getting anything current. Now I'm wondering if this is they're out of Canada. A lot of these companies will put their filings in their own country just because you don't see them here. And this is a NASDAQ stock, so you're not going to get a tip-off with an F at the end of this. 16.5 cents today with 5% drop. And share structure, not bad. It looks to be around 40 million, which we can deal with. That's bearable. So go ahead and show us that chart, Lily.
Sure. Let me get it pulled up real quick. You always have to present, and I always mess up on that part. So bear with me.
Wow.
There we go. All right. So we charted this from back here, and you can, once I pull it up closer, you can see that it's definitely respected that trend line. Look at that.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful. So it's this is back since November. It is in a very subtle uptrend. Now we have these spikes, and that's nice. Anytime you're in a stock like this and it spikes like that and you're there, take the gains.
Oh, hell yeah.
Take the gains and wait for it to just let you right back in at this level. You see what I'm do it again right here. This is beautiful. This is what you're looking for. Now, I don't know financial wise what their updated financials are and stuff, but they have something going on. There's been a lot of chatter. There's a lot of eyeballs on this. It is traded. I can't say that's heavy volume, but it has opportunities and it has lots of potential. This is a nice uptrend since November. So I'm not mad at it. No, I like it. Last 5 days, kind of flatlined, and it dropped off pretty heavily right here. I don't like that too much, but it seems like it's wanting to hold, and now we're starting to build again. So if it's going to keep respecting that, I would play this one, yeah. But like I said, set your stops, people.
Yeah, to me, as you said, she is respecting that channel perfectly. I mean, for months.
Yep, and came right back to it.
She's laid on it for 2 days, and you can see she's starting to grow. We're getting a confirmation there. Now, how far it's going to go, one doesn't know. But this is where you consider your entry position. Unless you're looking for a day trade and want that catapult, then you've got to wait. But you still need a good position. You still need a good price. And right now, she's in the good price zone. She doesn't like to go much lower. So what more can you ask for?
Yeah, you could do an entry there and just protect yourself with stops. I think it's a nice level there. And could build back up, have a nice spike. Take your gains if that happens.
Now, just so there's no confusion, I'm reading some of the comments here. I've got nothing against 000 stocks playing them. I'm worried about reverse splits because I've gone through 32 of them in the last year. So I'm a little gun shy here. So when I see somebody holding 8 billion shares and they're at 000,
oh boy,
I'm sorry. I just hear the bloody screams in the background.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. So I don't have anything against 000s, John. I play them, but I'm more of an in and out. It's a short-term thing.
And that's really what you need to do, because if not, it's going to be a long hold. It's going to be
it hurts.
Barcode. So yeah, you can go from 003 to 005 and you make yourself 75% gains on this little itty bitty smidge move, because there's no other numbers to move on the other side. There's no extra digit. My favorite place though is 001, because it's out of the 000s. Think of it as second gear. It moves faster and it's still a great price. 001 to 002 get you 100% gains. 003, 200% gains.
Another thing you got to think about with 000 stocks, if you don't have the right one, you could be in there forever. You have to have the liquidity. So if you have 8 billion shares, but somebody's only buying 2,000, you can't sell but 2,000.
That's true.
So you're stuck and you think you were in a good spot and you could be stuck a really long time. So be very careful. You have to be in the right one. You have to know this one's building up. It's going to move. You've got to have that DD.
All right, we have Cletty. He wants me to take a look at QBio, QBioMed.
QBio, never heard of that one.
Almost at a penny. My favorite, or not a penny. Yeah, it is a penny. Yeah, we're almost at a penny. 10, almost 11% gains today on the middle tier. Great to see you there. Verified profile and transfer agent. Everything looks secure here. As we would expect, this seems to be a biomedical company, accelerating and developing, focused on, they don't tell us exactly what sort of drugs they're making here. Let's see what their share structure is quickly. We got 95 million. I'm guessing they tell us 41 million here back in June of 2022, but this number here is 2023. I normally go unrestricted, folks. I figure any share that's unrestricted is on the market. Well, that's the same definition as the float. So I always think of them as one and the same, but the numbers don't always jive. So I do try to back them up by doing some research. Financials for QBio, are they making any money? Well, they are. They've just started making money. It's slowly growing through the years. Not a whole lot going on, but they're paying their bills, and they're still paying their bills. Though this last quarter in 2022 wasn't good for them. They actually took a hit. They went down $40,000. Quick glance at their balance sheet. See if they have their head underwater. Oh, my God. That doesn't look good. Total assets, $500,000. Total liabilities, $7.75 million. So they got a lot of deficit, a lot of debt they're carrying right now. Yeah, that was firm. Any new disclosures? They had a 13G. These are nice. I've been seeing a lot of these lately. What these are is when a new owner comes into the company. It'll tell you what percentage that they got up here. I'm going through it pretty quick because I know right down here they tell us who the company is. Yatu Pen from the Cayman Islands. So they've got a new owner, which that means they've bought enough shares of the company that they qualify now as having voting rights, being able to decide in the direction of the company. That's an important deal. So they just had that happen. They brought on a new owner, a new partner, if you will. And let's see if there's anything else there. Nope, nothing else there. So I guess the chart is all we have. Is that giving us any hope?
Well, not really. I mean, a little. I'll give it that. So we're just going to go to more recent activity. This is the last 20 days or 1 hour. We have a small uptrend going here. However, this area, which is 1 cent, is going to be resistance. Do you see this? Y'all see the right here on this line. Well, imaginary line in your head. You see that? That's right around the penny. So you're going to have some problems there, which it did already. If you'll look quickly, we'll get a bit closer, 5 days, 5 minute. It keeps trying to touch that penny. It's done it 3 times. Look at it. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. And it comes right back down because it's a resistance. So picking it up here, quick trade, because it is kind of respecting this little uptrend channel. There's some gains to be had here, but only quickly for right now. And the reason why I say this, if you go back to the last, we're going to have to take you back 3 years. The last year don't look good. 3 years don't look good. Just steady, constant downtrend. So nothing's changed here so far. Doesn't mean it won't, but you have to keep it. You have to be mindful of that, everyone, whenever you're trading, okay? In a downtrend, it does have potential currently, but right now it's to take your gains, follow the trend, in and out, in and out. Yeah, we're still kind of down. Until we get past that penny and start holding that and making higher lows, you're still in a downtrend. So the penny area is going to be problematic. I would not buy this at 0.0096 or anything like that. It'd have to prove itself because we're too close to the penny. Okay. I hope that helps.
All right. We are at 5 o'clock, and I did want to tag on to one thing before we go. Sure. I see there's a few tickers that have come in there. I'm sorry we're not going to get to them. I apologize for that. My video yesterday, I told you the SPAC warrants that I had gotten into. Like I said, we're playing SPAC warrants right now. And I came up with the theory, and I introduced you to this theory in one of my videos, where you could buy one, get up there, you could buy one warrant, a hot warrant that has a window that you can count on, and for $50. And if it only goes up 1,000%, I know that sounds silly to say, only 1,000%, but these warrants are running hot. They're getting 3,600, 2,600, 26,000. We even had one the other day, 100,000% gains in one day. So these are running hot. But the whole point is here is to compound. Buy one, have it make you some money, buy 5 more or 6 more. Let those pop. Buy more. This SPAC situation isn't going to last long, folks. In 2021, we had a surge of almost 300 SPACs come onto the market. Their times are running out now, and lots of them are dying. Lots of them going out of business, returning money. But those surviving, those are the plays we can play. And we need to play them before, well, SPACs aren't coming on the market right now. It's a bad time. They're just not coming on the market. So we got to play what's here. Well, I made a play yesterday for a merger. Wejo and the SPAC TDK, I believe it is. I think I can bring this up over here. Let me see. Come on up. There you go. They have a vote tomorrow on the merger, but it's not about the merger. It is about extending the time. They've run out of time, but they're smack dab in the middle of this merger. The deal is happening right now. Wejo is making money. They've got good business going on. They're growing in revenues, and the vote is tomorrow. If it's approved, I expect both the warrant for the SPAC, USCTW, and the warrant for Wejo, WEJOW. Wejo came on the market as a SPAC. It came on the market through a SPAC about a year ago, and now it's doing it again. Why would it do it again? Because every SPAC you join with, you get a pile of money. You get all that money that those $10 shares accumulated before they made a deal. So that money is going to help them grow. That's why they're doing it. Well, that vote is tomorrow. So I got into both warrants yesterday, and I'm expecting a pop after the vote. And I'm sure it's going to be approved. Who wouldn't want this approved? It's either that or take your $10 back after being held for 2 years and you get no gains. No investor wants that. This is the Wejo chart. She has come down. She had a big pop back here at 60 cents in June. Right now, she is just about ready to cross that 200 on the 4-hour chart. Now, it really isn't about the charts. It is about the catalyst. It is about the momentum. I talked about it yesterday. She was down here yesterday. She's already had a jump up to here. Looking at that other ticker, backing up to 4 hours, she had a high of 34 cents. Now she's virtually right back to that. I mean,
I'm very concerned about where it is right now.
Now, if we go back a year, we were at 45 cents. And just to see, it couldn't be a whole much more because they've only been on the market. 59 cents was her ultimate high. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to go higher than 59 cents. All I'm in it for is the initial surge after this decision. I want to see a bounce on both of them. Doesn't matter how big they are, but I'm going to be in them. So if one of them, now Wejo is going to be the surviving entity. If you own shares of the SPAC or you own warrants of the SPAC, if you don't sell them before 2 days after the close, they're going to transfer all of that into Wejo. Now, the shares of the SPAC are automatically going to be worth $11.25 at the end of this deal. They say that's what they're worth, and your shares of the SPAC will be converted into Wejo shares. And Wejo was what? Wejo was like 30 some cents, I think, something like that. So you're going to get a heck of a lot more shares of Wejo than you had of the SPAC. And your warrants will just flip on over to Wejo warrants, again, at the same ratio. So you're going to get a heck of a lot more warrants of Wejo if you're holding warrants of this SPAC. So that's what's going on. I'm watching for that bounce to come Friday, Monday, Tuesday, somewhere in there. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing. So I've bought 6 SPACs. 2 days ago, and I'm going to watch them, and whichever ones explode, I'm going to buy more SPACs. And I'm going to try to compound this. You know that a penny doubled a day gets you over $5 million in a 30-day month. But on day 27, you've only got $671,000. I know, only. But 3 days more, and it goes to $5 million. So that's what we're looking for here. I'm trying to get the odds of playing a lot that I can afford, working off of compounded gains, and have one of those hit 200, 3,000, 10,000% gains. For every $100 bill you invest, whatever the percent is, that's what you get. 10,000% gains is $10,000 on a $100 bill. So you don't have to put in a lot. You just got to cover a lot of bases. And that's what I'm doing. A little in. I got $300 in on 6, $50 each, and I'm going to let them multiply. And I'll keep you up to date what's going on. Now, you can follow me if you want, but folks, there's about 90 warrants on these SPACs that have deals. News. All of them are hot. I picked ones that fit me. You might want different ones. And it's not hard to do the due diligence. Just look at the late news or the late filings. Ta-da, there's your catalyst. That's what's going on.
This one's already moved a lot, John, in recent days or whatever. So if it doesn't hold that 25-cent area for that warrant, I'm out.
Well, and I'm not opposed to believing we could hit new highs.
I mean, I'm just wanting to make sure that, you're setting your stops too. Take those gains,
Oh, absolutely.
But if it wants to pop more, that's great. But it is a little stretched right now. Just want to keep pass that along.
Well, thanks for being here, folks. There was lots of new names in there. I appreciate you all showing up. And
I don't think we got to everybody. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so don't take it personally. We try to get to as many of them as we can. CTXR, we didn't get to take a look at. That's that cancer drug I covered a while ago. We're expecting that to be approved anytime. That's going to be a grand slam. And I did see another one down here, VBHI, Claddy. Yeah. We already looked at some of your.
I think somebody asked about ILIS. We've talked about ILIS several times. John has tons of videos.
It's growing.
It's growing. Yep. So sorry we didn't get to cover it today, but somebody had said that everyone's talking about it on Twitter for ILIS. And thing is, ILIS has been talked about for a while.
Yeah, ILIS is a good, strong company. They've shown themselves to be reliable in growth. They're doing business in multiple countries. Firefighting never goes out of fashion. Yeah. It's always out there, regardless of circumstances in the world or economy. So I like ILIS. It's one of my favorite companies, and I'm not even invested in it.
And I want to say somebody, I can't find it right now, but somebody had asked about, warrants, since you were talking about the warrants and like converting them. And that's a whole different topic. You can trade them like stocks, which is what John's speaking about.
And go over to my YouTube channel. I just put out a video 7 days ago explaining what SPACs are, what warrants are, why you want to play them. All the questions you've got, I answer in that. Hopefully that'll get you worked up. It got me worked up.
And that should cover. I just want to make sure, we do see your comments, guys. We just couldn't get to all of them. But come back next Thursday. We'll see y'all then.
We'll be here 4 o'clock, folks. See you then.
Bye, John.